it is my great privilege to welcome you to the official ceremony for the 20th anniversary of Georgetown University in Qatar. 20 years ago, Her Highness Sheikh Moza bint Nasser and Qatar Foundation extended an invitation that defied precedent to embed a Jesuit university from America in the heart of Education City, an ecosystem as pioneering in scope and spirit as anything higher education had ever dared to imagine. The Jesuits had long been present in this region's intellectual life, teaching in the hills of Ottoman Lebanon, translating Arabic texts, sowing early seeds of dialogue between faiths. But it remained an audacious proposition that Georgetown University could bring its deepest convictions of diplomacy, justice, theology, and history into new terrain, and find them met with an enthusiasm that gives them fresh urgency and direction. From a single floor in a shared building and a handful of faculty and staff who stepped into the unknown came the beginning of something enduring. And today, GUQ stands as an indelible part of Georgetown's identity and a vital force in Qatar's academic landscape. Underlying that evolution was a mutual aspiration for what higher education could be. As Her Highness Sheikh Moza bint Nasser once said, "The right to quality education is the perfect path to bridge the gap between different cultures and to reconcile various civilizations." That vision undergirds what we have sought to build here, a living bridge between continents and cultures, between a centuries-old Jesuit ethos and Qatar's generational investment in human development. Bridges imply movement, exchange. They are fragile, beautiful, and they last only if people keep crossing. This bridge has held, and it has been reinforced and crossed thousands of times, most meaningfully by students from all over the world. In a time marked by sharp global divisions, what they encounter is a community where the joy of belonging is only matched by the joy of discovery, an academic environment that teaches them to think across boundaries, not within them. In any given week, our students might school their DC peers in cricket, admire Qatari calligraphy at our National Day celebration, or win yet another national debate championship. A classroom might grapple with the role of women in shaping political movements, consider Arabic literature as a form of resistance, or examine how Qatar rewrites diplomacy through arts and culture. And because this institution is grounded in Georgetown's call to form people for others and in Islamic traditions of generosity and collective purpose, that formation extends into the world through teaching English to Palestinian evacuees, carrying out fieldwork in Bosnia, or volunteering at the World Cup. By the time our students graduate, they carry something hard to capture and harder to instill: purpose. As the Holy Quran reminds us in Surah Al-Zalzala, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. صدق الله العظيم. To nurture students with that moral clarity in a world haunted by its opacity, we have embraced the task of crafting a robust platform for interdisciplinary inquiry. In recent years, our Hiwarat conference series has become a stage for interrogating the status quo. Writers, diplomats, and scholars have joined us through new residencies and fellowships. Academic programs have diffused the line between learning and doing. Collaborations between Georgetown and Qatar Foundation have grown stronger and more dynamic. And to meet this moment, we have hired faculty who match the ambition and urgency of our mission. But what has held our bridge together across oceans and time was never inevitable. I stand on the shoulders of those who carried this institution through its early years and breathed life into what it is today. To the former deans who led GUQ through its formative decades, Dr. James Reardon Anderson, whose memory we honor. Dr. Mehran Kamrava, Dr. Gerd Noneman, Dr. Ahmed Dalal, and Dr. Clyde Wilcox. Thank you. I extend my deepest gratitude to Her Highness Sheikha Moza bint Nasser and Her Excellency Sheikha Hind bint Hamad Al Thani. This campus testifies to their pioneering vision and their refusal to accept the limits placed on education or on possibility. My sincere thanks as well to Her Excellency Sheikha Al Mayasa bint Hamad Al Thani for her inspiring and tireless leadership through our joint advisory board. I offer my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Francisco Marmolejo and the team at Qatar Foundation over the years, whose work has stitched together ambition and execution across this remarkable educational landscape. We will always remain deeply thankful to former President Jack DeGioia for his steadfast efforts in ensuring that Georgetown's mission is lived globally. It was his shared vision with that of Her Highness Sheikha Moza bint Nasser that made this not just a dream, but a beautiful reality. We hold Dr. DeGioia in our thoughts and prayers and send him our warmest wishes for strength and healing. I extend my thanks as well to Interim President Robert Groves, Interim Provost Soika Colbert, and School of Foreign Service Dean Joel Hellman. Their leadership has drawn our campus closer, intellectually, institutionally, and in spirit. And finally, I want to acknowledge my fellow deans who are with us today. Dean Amir Burbidge of Virginia Commonwealth University School of the Arts in Qatar, Dean Pablo Martin de Olan of HSC Paris in Qatar, Dean Marwan Qraidi of Northwestern University in Qatar, Dean Cesar Malave of Texas A&M University at Qatar, Dean Javed Sheikh of Weill Cornell Medicine, Qatar, and Dean Michael Trick of Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar. They have all helped make Education City far more than the sum of its parts. I also wish to acknowledge President Dr. Ahmed Hasna of Hamad bin Khalifa University for his valued partnership across our shared ecosystem. When Georgetown signed its first agreement with Qatar Foundation in 2005, our founding idea that moral responsibility and intellectual inquiry are inseparable declared itself in Doha as a question. Could it succeed here? 20 years later, the answer towers in plain sight. But preeminence demands a different kind of question. How far are we willing to go? To borrow the words of Ahmad Shawqi, the Prince of Poets, وما نيل المطالب بالتمني ولكن تؤخذ الدنيا غلابا وما استعصى على قوم منال إذا الإقدام كان لهم ركابا. That is the truth behind every act of transformation. The world does not hand itself over. Everything must be imagined, reached for, claimed. What begins today steps into terrain at once uncharted and hard-won. It pulses with the same current that has surged through cities and centuries, igniting wherever courage, knowledge, and purpose converge. What begins today is a renaissance, one that ushers in a new era of partnership inspired by bold ambition and even wilder imagination. If we rise to this moment with the same fire that called us here, we will soar. In size, in stature, in impact, and above all, in meaning. Today, as we prepare to sign a new 10-year agreement, we mark a threshold that is both historic and full of momentum. Historic because we have, together, reimagined what education can be, across cultures, across traditions, and across generations. And full of momentum, not only because of where we have been, but because of where we are going. At a time when there is much reason to hesitate, this renewed commitment propels us forward with expanded academic offerings, broader impact, and new ways to serve the evolving needs of students, communities, and the world around us. We are deeply grateful to Qatar Foundation for its vision and trust, and proud to take this next step together.
Today is a moment of real significance, not just because we are celebrating a two-decade partnership, but because we are here to reflect on our common mission and on the impact we have achieved for our students in these years. Both our institutions, Qatar Foundation and Georgetown University, believe deeply in the transformative power of education. We have a genuine conviction that education is the key to unlock human potential. That sense of purpose is what brought us together before, it is what brings us together today, and it will be what continues to bring us together in the future. And what a noble cause is what we are celebrating today as a way to reaffirm our common commitment towards a stronger and more impactful partnership. As it has been expressed by Sheikh Hamza bin Nasser so powerfully, education is the only means to bridge the gap between cultures, to fight ignorance and extremism, and to ensure a more secure and peaceful world. And honestly, if that is not worth investing in and working together for, what is? Since its inception in 2005, Georgetown University in Qatar has been a central pillar in Education City, together with 6 other leading universities and our home ground, Hamad bin Khalifa University. Thanks to the inspiring vision of Sheikh Hamza bin Nasser and the dedicated leadership and guidance of Sheikh bin Hamad Al Thani, we have witnessed and collaborated in the co-creation of a unique model for higher education. One that is open and inclusive, contextualized and personalized, collaborative and innovative. It is a model of higher education that is fundamentally built on the idea of partnership, and that, let me insist on it, is unique in the world. Each university brings its own strengths, and our students benefit from that richness. It is a one-of-a-kind setup where an international affairs students can grab coffee with a medical student, then walk into a class on entrepreneurship, and somehow still manage to complain about the final exams. At a time when we are facing significant challenges and complexity and change in a global higher education landscape, and in the world in which things are much more complicated, it is more crucial than ever to work with people who are committed to serving a larger vision and a larger purpose. We are not here because we like easy problems. For us, this renewal of our partnership signifies the strength of our relationship and the values of our shared mission. It signals that the ecosystem that all of us are part of at Education City, with its diversity of institutions, perspectives, and cultures, is something truly unique, and more importantly, is something truly impactful in unlocking human potential. And that each university within it is essential to make it work. This renewal is a reflection of trust, shared vision, and a bit of that academic stubbornness that refuses to settle for good enough. Of course, there is too much to be done. Now it is a time to diligently and tirelessly work to make sure that we strengthen our partnership in ways that better serve our students, the scholarly community, Qatar, and the world. Thank you.
What a galvanizing morning this has been. Looking around, I am struck by the strength of our community and the shared purpose that runs through it. This morning has been nothing short of a declaration. In every voice, every moment on the stage, and every exchange in this auditorium, we witness something profound, a living commitment to values passed from generation to generation. Met today with the will to carry them further. The renaissance that lies ahead will test us. It will also elevate us. With the energy in this room and the relationships that uphold this institution, what once began as an audacious proposition now surges ahead, guided by the clarity that only time and trust can deliver. When I was hired into position of dean, Jack DeGioia looked me in the eyes and said, and I quote, "Our best days are ahead of us." I carry those words with me as a legacy and a promise. Our best days are indeed ahead of us.